How do you think a younger woman will treat you if she's truly attracted to you? You've watched countless videos, read endless posts on how to become irresistible to women. But what happens when you actually succeed? When she finally falls for you? Do you think it's all sweetness and light? Sure, she'll brighten your life like sunshine. But there are also things you'd never expect from a woman who's into you. Don't overlook the surprising downsides that come with her attraction. Let's dive in. 7. She will be super forgiving. I want to take you back to a classic moment in the movie White Chicks. There's a hilarious scene where Latrell, a star basketball player, wins a bid to take one of the white chicks out to dinner. During the dinner, she does everything she can to put him off, biting her nails, spitting in her wine, ordering a ridiculous amount of food, and eating as if she's never seen a fork before. Latrell's face shows a hint of disgust, but the twist is, in the end, it doesn't matter. He's still in love with her. When I watched this scene, it clicked for me. It's not just comedic gold, but a perfect illustration of how attraction works in the real world. If someone finds you incredibly attractive, they become remarkably forgiving. It's exactly the same with women, especially younger women. If she sees you as very attractive on her personal scale, she'll find ways to overlook almost anything you do. She will justify, rationalize, and most importantly, remain attractive. Let's look at a real-life scenario. Let's say you're an older man dating a younger woman. You might have a few quirks. Maybe you're a little messy, maybe you're not the best texter, or maybe you're not as trendy as her friends. Normally, these might be deal breakers, but if she's really into you, these flaws won't matter. She'll shrug them off, laugh at them, and maybe even find them endearing. And why? Because a woman who is truly attracted to you is willing to overlook the very little flaws. 6. You'll see it coming. If a woman thinks you're very attractive, let's say you've reached the sweet spot of attractiveness that's hard to ignore, she'll make that obvious. And by obvious, I mean she'll choose you. And she'll choose you strongly. You'll see her staring at you from across the room, whispering to her friends, and maybe even sending them over to break the ice. She'll find any excuse to strike up a conversation with you. Let's illustrate this with a real-life example. Imagine you're an older man in your 40s, 50s, or beyond. You come to a social gathering. Maybe it's a trendy bar, a networking event, or even a casual get-together. If you've made an effort to improve your appearance, think well-fitting clothes, a well-groomed beard, or just that confident aura, you'll notice something remarkable. Women will take notice of you. They may not approach you right away, but the signs are there, the stares, the whispers among her friends, the subtle positioning closer to where you're standing. This is where the magic happens. As an older man, you are in a unique position. You have the experience, the confidence, and let's face it, the wisdom that younger men often lack. When you combine that with your attractiveness, women will treat you like no other. 5. She'll sacrifice her ego. When you are drawn to someone, you can't hold back from validating them. For women, this behavior is less common, but incredibly telling when it does happen. The only man they validate is usually someone they find attractive. A man who fits into their mental picture of a good-looking man, typically someone at the top of the handsomeness scale. And here's the kicker. You don't have to be seen as on top of the scale of super attractive everywhere. It just depends on how she perceives you or what kind of man attracts her. If you tick all the boxes of what she finds appealing, if you're exactly the type she's physically attracted to, then she'll drop her ego without a second thought. She's ready to connect with you in the most seamless and humble way possible. 4. She'll cross the friend zone barrier. If you're a man who doesn't have many female friends, the concept of being just friends with a woman may be almost foreign to you. But here's where things get interesting. If you're an objectively good-looking guy, It becomes a challenge to have a purely platonic relationship with women. Not because you're necessarily interested in them, but because they're attracted to you. Look at it this way. The people who say that men and women can't be friends are often not physically attracted to each other. It's easy to stay in the friend zone when there's no spark. But what happens when you're the really handsome guy? Suddenly the dynamic shifts. Women can't help but feel that physical attraction, even if they're friends with you. So why are you friends? Maybe because you're not attracted to her, or maybe you've decided not to cross that line. But let's be honest, if you put yourself in the right situation, such as a night out together, a little flirtation, or even just a moment of vulnerability, the game changes. She may be suppressing those feelings for the sake of friendship, but she's still a woman, and that attraction doesn't just go away. In many cases, if she's physically attracted to you, those lines can blur. Here is a real-life scenario. Imagine you are out with a friend. The two of you are on friendly terms, but after a few drinks you notice that she starts to flirt a little. Maybe it's a compliment that feels a little too personal, or a lingering touch. That's the physical attraction creeping in. Maybe she's been hiding it because you're just friends. But the truth is, those feelings have been there all along. 3. She'll be everywhere. Suppose you work together. You go into the kitchen to make yourself a coffee, and 10 seconds later she's there. She wants a coffee too. You walk past her desk and greet her, and she always stops and responds back with an enthusiastic hello. You suggest meeting up with colleagues after work, and she's the first to say yes, maybe even changing her plans to be with you. She always tries to make eye contact, be in your presence, and respond positively to your attempts at interaction. However, if she seeks your company for reasons other than the pleasure of your presence, she may not be as interested in you as she's in the help you offer her. Fixing her computer, rearranging her furniture, trimming her backyard, and stuff like that. But it's not all sunshine and rainbows. If a woman perceives you as good-looking, especially more attractive than she is, she might start acting a little strange and weird. 2. The downside of being highly attractive. Some women will try to downplay your looks to make you feel average or normal if you're highly attractive. This may be to keep your ego in check or to keep their status above you. They won't say you're ugly. Obviously, they don't think that, or they wouldn't be with you. But they'll make little comments like, "I've been with more good-looking men than you," or "I always attract handsome guys," to imply that your attractiveness isn't new to them. It's kind of like downplaying your excitement when you're with a really attractive woman for the first time. It's part of her game, and it shouldn't hurt your feelings or ego. But be aware that some women will try to downplay your looks, and some will even get jealous if you get more attention than they do. 1. The value proposition. When a younger woman is drawn to an older man, it's often more strategic than you might think. It's like how men approach their careers, calculated, goal-oriented, and driven by value. Here's the hard truth. Many younger women are attracted to older men because of what they can bring to the table. In most cases, that's financial stability, which acts as a springboard for their life goals. Think about how men view their jobs. You don't just work for the fun of it. You work to achieve something: financial freedom, a sense of purpose, or the lifestyle you crave. Now, imagine getting a call from a recruiter who's offering you more money, more opportunities, more everything. Even if you're content in your current role, that new offer will catch your attention. You'll weigh the pros and cons, but deep down, you're attracted to the better deal. This is exactly how many younger women today treat their relationships with older men. They're not just looking at the present, they're thinking long-term. The attraction is there, but it's heavily tied to the value you bring into their lives. This is the harsh reality, one that's more transactional than you might like to admit, but undeniably true.